Getting behind the wheel, it's so automatic for most of us, isn't it? It's just muscle memory. But what if I told you that where you put your car on the road, that simple choice, could be one of the most important decisions you make all day? We're going to unpack the hidden dangers of car positioning, and trust me, it matters a whole lot more than you think.
So think about it. Is your daily commute just a routine, or is it a series of life-altering decisions you're making every single second? It's really time we shift our mindset about this, and it all boils down to this one really simple but super powerful idea.
And here it is. This is the heart of it all, the Predictability Covenant. It's this unspoken agreement, this invisible glue that holds all of traffic together. It's the trust that the car next to you is going to behave in a way you expect. But when you break that trust with bad, unpredictable positioning, you're not just risking your own neck, you're ripping a hole in that safety net for everyone.
So let's talk about this Predictability Covenant. How does it actually play out on the road? We're about to dive into why your exact position in a lane, at an intersection, or on the highway matters so much. This is all about shifting from just being a passive driver to becoming an active defender of your space and your safety.
All right, now that we kind of get the why, let's get into the what and the where. What are these danger zones we need to be constantly aware of? Let's start pinpointing the specific high-risk spots and the common behaviors that can turn a normal drive into a total nightmare.
So these spots, they're not just minor annoyances for other drivers. They are genuine, ticking time bombs. Stopping on a blind curve, you've just set up a potential rear ending for the next person. Blocking the box at an intersection, you're the reason for a gridlock that could stretch for miles. Every single one of these is a direct violation of that trust we talked about, and a direct threat to safety.
And this, right here, perfectly illustrates one of the biggest and most misunderstood dangers out there, the no zone around big trucks. So many of us think, hey, I can see his mirror, so he can see me. That is a flat-out, potentially fatal mistake. The reality is, in those huge blind spots, you are completely and totally invisible. Here's the simple rule. If you can't see the truck driver's face in their side mirror, you have to assume they have absolutely no idea you're there.
Of course, the danger isn't just when you're stopped, it's when you're moving. Tailgating just vaporizes your reaction time. Straddling two lanes basically invites someone to hit you, and merging onto a fast-moving highway at a crawl, you're essentially a sitting duck. These aren't just sloppy habits, they're open invitations to disaster.
Okay, so we've seen the what and the where of dangerous positioning, but what about the why? What are the hidden forces that actually cause good drivers to make these really bad choices? Well, it usually comes down to three main culprits: visibility, distraction, and speed.
We've all been there, right? Driving through a super thick fog or a crazy, blinding rainstorm. It's not just annoying, it's like your senses are being deprived of critical information. When you can't properly see the road ahead, you can't judge distance, you can't react in time, and that is a perfect recipe for a collision.
Now, let's be honest. We're probably all guilty of this one. That quick glance at your phone, messing with the radio, it's more than just taking your eyes off the road. It's a cognitive impairment. It literally splits your brain's focus, which is why you start to drift in your lane, misjudge the speed of the car in front of you, and react just a split second too late. And on the highway, a split second is everything.
And that brings us to the third big factor, the one that's a true force multiplier. It can turn a tiny mistake into an absolute catastrophe. Just consider this number for a second: 60 miles per hour.
So let's say you're cruising along at 30, and you decide to punch it up to 60. Common sense might say your stopping distance just doubles, right? Wrong. The reality is, well, it's way more shocking than that, and it's all about physics. Check this out. Your stopping distance doesn't double, it more than triples. And here's why, and this is the crazy torque. The kinetic energy that your brakes have to fight off has actually quadrupled. This isn't about breaking the speed limit. This is about trying to break the laws of physics, and that is a fight you are never, ever going to win. It's just raw, unforgiving physics at play. Okay, we've seen the dangers, we've looked at the causes. So now what? Well, now it's time to arm ourselves with the tools and the mindset to stay safe. Let's build your personal defensive driving playbook. It's time to take control of your safety out there. This is all about being proactive. That 3-second rule for following distance, that's your best friend. It gives you a buffer. Those blind spots we talked about, they're the enemy. Stay out of them. Signal your intentions way before you move. Own the center of your lane and create a little safety bubble around your car that nobody can pop.
But, what if the worst happens anyway? What if you break down? Your actions in that first minute are so critical. First thing, get those hazard lights on immediately. If you can, try to coast to a safer spot, like the shoulder. But here's the key, and this might sound counterintuitive. On a busy road, the safest place is usually inside your car with your seatbelt on, waiting for help. The car is a metal cage that offers protection. Only get out to set up warning triangles if you are 100% sure it's safe to do so.
So we've talked a lot about the physical dangers, but what about the aftermath of a crash? A single moment of bad positioning can set off a legal and financial avalanche that can honestly bury you for years. So let's talk about the consequences that go way beyond the bent metal.
You see, when you get behind the wheel, you're not just operating a machine, you're taking on a legal responsibility. It's called a duty of care, and it means you have an obligation to keep other people on the road safe. If you breach that duty because of poor positioning, you're not just looking at a ticket. You could be facing a lawsuit that could cost you absolutely everything. And look, it's not just a one-time fine. It is a domino effect that can seriously wreck your financial world. We're talking fines, points on your license, massive insurance hikes that last for years, lawsuits, and in some cases, even criminal charges. That one little mistake can haunt you for a very, very long time. Is any shortcut really worth all that?
So, the next time you get behind the wheel, I want you to ask yourself a different kind of question. Don't just ask, how do I get there? Ask, how do I get there safely? Are you just driving on autopilot, or are you actively protecting yourself and everyone around you? The choice, as always, is yours. Let's make it a safe one.
Please like, subscribe, and get notified.